Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're actually going to talk about one brand. We're going to talk about Flower Beauty. They've actually come out with a couple of new products and they're now available at Ulta. So I thought this would be a good idea to go over a couple of their products, some new, some old, just revisit the brand a little bit and see what you guys think. If that's something you're interested in watching, then you are in the right place. Keep watching. We're about to get into it.
Watch out for me, I'm about to glow. You better watch out for me, I'm about to glow. Your boy all glow.
So, Flower Beauty, for those of you that don't know, this is Drew Barrymore's baby. And Flower Beauty was initially launched and started and sold in Walmart. And now recently they have become available at Ulta. They've also launched some new products. So I thought we would go over a couple of those new products and I'd give you my thoughts. I do want to start with the new Light Illusion Foundation and Concealer. So this is the new Light Illusion Foundation. It does come in a glass bottle. This is 1 fluid ounce. And this is supposed to be a foundation that gives you a luminous makeup nude skin feel. So this is only available in 12 shades, and I have to say that the shade selection and the shade range is one of my biggest issues with this foundation. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now, what they claim with this foundation is that this is a breakthrough foundation that achieves the impossible. It provides you with the coverage you desire to smooth and perfect while imparting your skin with the most flattering, soft luminosity imaginable, all with a weightless, nude skin feel. Imperfections and uneven skin tone are diminished. Only a flawless, smooth, and incredibly natural complexion is revealed. And again, this is available in 12 shades with an SPF of 18. So the packaging itself is gorgeous. It is a glass bottle. I think it's very pretty. It has a pump. And, you know, just from a packaging perspective, let me turn the lid around. There you go. From a packaging perspective, it is quite beautiful. It's a stunning component. I really, really like this. Now, my issues when it comes to the shade, and this is honestly throughout the entire Flower Beauty shade range. So I got the color M1 and M2, and I didn't know, I thought one of the two of them would suit me because they are right next to each other in the lineup, but there's quite a jump from this shade to this shade, and that's kind of my issue, is that I'm in between these two. Not only that, but these shades tend to be very yellow, and so does the concealer. I think that the undertone issues run throughout the line, and that's very disappointing for me. Also, I'll insert here just so that you guys can see what the coverage looks like. So for me, the coverage is okay. I feel as though it's a little thin for me. I wasn't quite a big fan of the coverage itself, and wear over the course of the day did not wear well either. It did sink into my smile lines. It also sunk into the creases in my forehead and the creases here in my 11s. Overall, I just wasn't a fan of this formula. I just didn't like it, guys. I can't Erica approve it because I just think it's a really poorly formulated foundation, and I don't think it lives up to the claims. Now, it retails for $14, and I can think of some foundations that perform a little bit better than this one does, and this was just a disappointment for me. Next, let's move on to the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. Now, this retails for $10. And this, again, I had the same struggle with. So I got these colors in light medium, and medium sand, and they're all right next to each other in the color spectrum. But there's quite a big jump, again, in shades, and all of these have a very heavy yellow undertone. Now, again, the component itself is gorgeous. I love the way that these actually look. I think it's beautiful as far as the component is concerned. performed. It does have this very unique doe foot applicator that is at a slight angle, which I think is actually quite ingenious, and it holds a nice bit of product. There's a little well right here in the tip, and overall I feel like the actual component for this is not bad. I really like the packaging. Unfortunately, the color shade just wasn't a match for me. I just didn't like it. Now, as far as the way that this performed, I actually really like the way that the concealer performed. Unfortunately, it did crease underneath here, but the coverage itself is very nice. If you don't have a lot of texture or fine lines and wrinkles in your under eye area, then this will be a great under eye formula for you. If you have any texture under the eye, it does crease, and it does crease even after you've set it with powder. There's still quite a bit of sinking into the lines there. There wasn't a whole lot that I could do to keep this out of my creases. So unfortunately, this is going to be a no-go for me, but I will say it's not Erica approved, with the caveat that if you have flawless under eyes, it might work for you. Next, let's talk about the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder that's also part of this line. Now, this product I actually really liked. This actually retails for $13.99, which I think honestly is a little high, but it is a great product. Now, the component for this I actually really like. You can open it and you have a mirror here, and then you have a sponge down here in the bottom that you can use, and then you flip the mirror down and the powder is actually right here. Now, this is available in 4 different colors. Again, it retails for $13.99 or $14. Now, this has that blurring capability and that blurring technology that a lot of Flower Beauty's powders have, that soft focus kind of effect. This has that with a little bit of very soft kind of ambient lighting that comes through as well. It's a beautiful powder. I really like the way this looks on the face, and I think this one is a home run. This one's absolutely Erica approved. Next, we have the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Liquid Lipstick. Now, I really do like this. This retails for $10. I love this formula. I think this is one of my favorite matte formulas. It doesn't get really crusty and hard on the lips. It actually feels really nice going on, and it actually does come in 12 different colors, and the colors are quite stunning on. This is a beautiful color, and it's very opaque. The applicator is just a typical applicator, but overall I absolutely love this matte liquid lipstick. This is actually in the color Rosewood, and it is a beautiful color on the lips. This is a stunning formula. It's absolutely Erica approved, and I think you guys should check out the matte lipstick formula from Flower Beauty. Next up, guys, I'm going to talk about 3 products, and I'm going to go through them really quickly because I've actually covered these in previous videos, and I'm not sure that Flower Beauty is going to continue selling these. Currently, these are only available on their website and nowhere else. They used to be carried in Walmart. Now they're kind of phasing them out of Walmart from what I understand, and everything's going into Ulta, or you can go online at the Flower Beauty website. And a lot of these 3 products that I'm going to talk to you about have actually been pushed into the reduced for sale category. So I'm not really sure what their intentions are with these particular products, but I'm going to talk about them really quickly. One of them is the Daily Brightening Under Eye Cover Cream, and it looks like this. It comes in a kind of a stand-up little thing here, and it's a roller ball, and it's basically a brightener for your under eyes. And I really love this, guys. It's got like a powdery kind of finish to it, and I love this brightener underneath the eye. I've spoke about this brightener in previous videos. It just does a really nice job of brightening the under eye, and I feel like this was one of their better products, and I would really hate to see this go away. So if you guys are interested in getting this, I would encourage you to go to their website and check it out. But this is one of my favorite products from Flower Beauty. One of my other ones is this kind of click stick from Flower Beauty, and as you can see, I've gone through quite a bit of it. This is not available on the Ulta site, but you can get it on their website. You just click it up, and I'll put it right here. It is just an under eye concealer, except it's a little more illuminating than just a basic concealer is. It has quite a bit of brightening agents in it, and it's lighter coverage, not really full coverage, but as you can see, it is just beautiful on the skin. I love this formula. These two together are magic on the under eye area, especially on those no makeup kind of days, and both of those products are Erica approved. And a good third product to pair with those on those kind of no makeup days is the Flower Beauty. This is called their stick foundation. They called it Skin Cognito because it is just kind of that everyday type of stick foundation. It's a very light coverage. All it does is really just even out the skin tone, and it's great for those no makeup type of days. It just gives your skin this pretty glow. It kind of evens everything out and just makes your skin look pretty, but it doesn't cover much. It doesn't do much for blemishes, etc., but it just makes your skin look beautiful. As you can see here, the difference between my hands, this has the Skin Cognito on it and this doesn't. So it is just a beautiful formula, and I feel like on those no makeup days when you just want to grab something just to make your face look good so you can run out the door, I think these products are perfect for that. And unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen with them, so we'll have to keep our eyes on them and see what happens with them in the future. Another product that I noticed didn't make the Ulta cut is their Lifting and Sculpting palette. Now, their Shimmer and Strobe palette made it to the Ulta lineup, but the Lift and Sculpt Contouring palette did not, which is really unfortunate because this has one of my favorite contour shades in it ever. This contouring shade is absolutely stunning, and it looks beautiful on the skin. I actually have it on tonight right here. I also have the highlight on as well. This is a stunning palette. I love this palette. The highlighter is like one of those highlighters that is like a wet formula where it just makes you look like the skin is actually wet because it's so illuminating. Look at that. And that's just one swipe. The pink is a very pretty wash of color. I actually have that on tonight as well. So it doesn't show up like really vibrant pink like this. It's just a really pretty kind of pink. And then this is a beautifully toned contour powder. Now, the one thing I will say about this palette is that it's very powdery. So it's all kind of powdery, and there's a lot of kickback in here. I'll just get a brush and kind of show you a little bit the powder kickoff that you can get with this palette, and it's quite a bit, as you can see. So it is a very powdery palette, but the payoff is worth it. And typically formulas that are this powdery don't last very long on the face, but I find that that's not the case with this. It is very long lasting. It's just that it's very powdery and it's not really hard pressed into the pan. But I think that might be why the pigment payoff is so beautiful. But look at how reflective this highlighter is. It's throwing so much light back at the camera, it just whites it out. But this palette is absolutely stunning, guys. You can get this at the Flower Beauty website. I hate that it's not on the Ulta website because I feel like a lot of people are missing out on this. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this is like $15, I think, around that range. But if it's been pushed over into that sale section, then you might actually be able to get a good deal on this one. But this is one of my favorite contouring palettes. This is actually a really great palette that I take to travel with because I know it has a highlighter, a blush, and a contour in it that I love, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can just throw one thing in my suitcase and be done. So this is a great traveler for me. I love this palette. Alright guys, next we have the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Long Lasting Setting Spray, and I will tell you what, this is like the Urban Decay All-Nighter. I love this setting spray. I have put this to like 12 and 18 hour day tests, and it works so good. Now this stuff is sweat proof. It makes your makeup rub resistant. It does have a matte finish, and it just locks your makeup in all day long. It is fantastic. Now they do have a very unique pump that is attached to their setting sprays that just gives a very fine mist. They have one of the best pumps out there. Now I really like the aerosol type of format, but the pump, if I'm gonna have to choose a pump, this is one of the best pumps out there. It just leaves you with a really pretty matte finish, and I love it. And again, this is only $12.99, so it's very inexpensive, and it works like a dream. This is absolutely Erica approved. Now I want to go into some of their tools, because there are some of their tools that are actually my favorite out of everything in the world. And for those of you that aren't old heads, that haven't been around since the very beginning of my channel, then you won't know this. But for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you already know I'm about to bring out the purple sponge. So this is Flower Beauty's Beauty Blender. This sponge is amazing. It is miraculous. It is so soft. It is probably the softest beauty blender that I have ever used, like ever in the history of ever. This is one of my favorite beauty sponges. I love it so much that I kind of hoard it, and I only really use it for like special kind of occasions. But I love the bottom because it just does a amazing job blending out product. And then of course the top is great just to kind of get into these areas, and then it actually has an edge here as well, so that you can really get into those places that you really need to get into. And this is one of my favorite beauty sponges out there, and this is the Purple Miracle, the Flower Beauty Sponge. I love this sponge. So in addition to just loving this sponge, I did want to show you guys a comparison up against a beauty blender. These are both damp. As you can see, the Flower Beauty Sponge is just a lot softer. It's a lot bigger. It really does make very quick work of blending in your makeup just because of the size. Now, Flower Beauty also offers brushes, makeup brushes, that actually are very unique. So they all kind of look like this. They all have this flat bottom where you can stand them all up if you'd like. I just got one that I tend to use for contouring because it really hugs those contours very nicely on the face. The bristles are made very well. I've had this for quite a long time, and it's held up very nicely through multiple washings and dryings and shapings and reshapings. It's really hung in there, and it's done a fantastic job. This is the only eyeshadow brush that they sell, and it's kind of got the same design. It's just got this flat bottom, and the top of it is pretty unique. It's this you know, from the side it's very skinny, and then when you look at it from the front it's more wide. So it has this oval top here, which is great. It is tapered as well, so it does allow for a lot of coverage in a lot of areas. I love this for all over shadow application. When you have to just put a shadow all over the lid, this makes quick work of it. It's very soft. The bristles are lined up very nicely, and I am a fan of this brush as well. So the brushes from Flower Beauty that I own have all been Erica approved, and I really like them. So check these out if you guys have the chance to check those out as well. Alright guys, so that brings us to this beauty. This is one of the Flower Beauty eyeshadow palettes. This is the Shimmer and Shade eyeshadow palette in warm neutral. Now they have the eyeshadow palettes they have are all called Shimmer and Shade, and then they come in different colors. These are what I consider to be one of the better formulas of the Flower Beauty eyeshadows. I really enjoy using these, and even though they are, a lot of these colors are very shimmery for lack of a better word. They're very shimmery. These are really, really nice colors, and I really, really like the formula in this particular palette. So we're gonna get really close up with this palette, but before we do, I just wanna talk about the component for just a moment. The component itself, just like the rest of Flower Beauty's packaging, is absolutely gorgeous. It has the same kind of gold etching on the top, and it's in this cream kind of component, and then when you open it, you get a brush down here, and it is a really cute little blending brush. It's not like, you know, just one of those brushes that you throw away when you get an eyeshadow palette. It is a really nice little fluffy blending brush that comes along with it, and it is in the typical Flower Beauty kind of format. It's got the flat bottom, and then, you know, the rose gold ferrule. It is just really cute and fluffy and has a tapered tip. So this is going to be really good for blending out those small areas that you need to blend out. But this is definitely an asset to the component, and I like the fact that they include that in these eyeshadow palettes. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys. Now let's get into some swatches. Okay guys, so this palette doesn't really have names for the colors, but it does have numbers. So we're going to go kind of backwards. We're going to start with the number 10, which is a really light kind of iridescent purpley color. Really, really pretty. And then number 9, which is actually almost like a black purple, but it does have a little bit of micro glitter in it. I don't know if you can see that sparkle. This is 8, and it is, again, kind of the same deal as 9 with a little bit of that micro glitter in there that just makes a really pretty sparkle on the eye. That is 7, and it's really just like a bronzy, this is more of a shimmer, a true shimmer shade. Then we have 6 coming up next, and this is a really pretty shimmer color. I do like this color, and it looks absolutely stunning on the lid. This is 5 coming up, and this is a lot like 6 in that it is very shimmery and very pretty. It is a little bit of a lighter tone, however, but this also looks really good in the corner and also on the lid. It's just a little bit lighter than 6. And again, that's number 5. Now we're going to get into the mattes, which I did notice are a little powdery. Again, this palette is very powdery, but they're really pretty and they do blend out. This is like a purpley matte, but the pigment is beautiful and it's very, very smooth. That's number 4. And then number 3 is also a matte, except it's more of a pinky matte. And excuse my scratch there from my cat. And then next we're going to go into the transition color of the palette, which is number 2. And this is like a beigey, you know, a typical transition color, and it is a really pretty transition color. In the crease, it does look really, really beautiful. And then number 1 is probably my favorite color in the palette. It's this beautiful peachy orange, almost like a duochrome, because it does have some hints of pink and orange flash in there. So, all right, well, there is all of the shades, and I'm trying to get you guys to see the sparkle in it. It's a very sparkly palette. So I also wanted to show you guys this palette just from an application standpoint. So not only did I want you to really be able to get up closely and take a look at these colors, but I also wanted you to see what they look like on the eye and how they applied. Now I will say that while I was doing this look, that's when I found out that these colors are incredibly powdery, and it's very similar to the formula in this. Very, very powdery. It kicks up a lot. I'm not really sure what's up with that. It's just something about the formula. They don't press these pigments very hard, and usually that means that the payoff's not going to be very good. But I found that the payoff with these was actually quite nice. So unfortunately, it is incredibly powdery, and there really is a lot of kickoff. But I found that this particular palette worked very well for me, and it blended. So at the end of the day, I liked the look that I got with it. I was very satisfied with it. It did wear throughout the course of the day without any issue. So for this particular palette, I will Erica approve this palette. I do want to try some of the other ones and see how those do, but today we're talking about this one, and this one is Erica approved. Alright guys, so that is all the Flower Beauty products that I have. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have you guys purchased Flower Beauty, or have you guys given them a shot? Do you think you'll give them a shot now that they're available in Ulta? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. I love to hear back from you. If you guys are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you're new or not, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone is happy and healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Say hi to everybody.
You better cut this shit out.
No.
I'm gonna say some shit that is gonna make me get cut out.
No, go. My buttons.
But you like it when I push your
Oh,
button.
stop it. Would you go? Oh my God.
See, now you have to believe that.
Thank you. Shut the curtain. What are you doing?
I want to come say
Oh
hello to
my
my
God.
lovelies.
We're having an intervention.
Oh no! Oh baby, I'm so sorry. Come here. I have eye drops. Let me put some eye drops in your eye.
No.
Yes.
Good.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm so sorry. I know that was my nail, like right in your eyeball. I'm sorry. Kiss it.
One of these almost made me go blind.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby.
I love you.
No. You guys shut my curtain, please.
You know what? I'll do what I want, woman.
Oh my God.